Oh, hey there, Internet. My name is Evan, and you are watching Geeks Under Grace. Somewhere in a galaxy not that far away, you've got some free stuff waiting for you. And no, I don't mean going to your local Sam's Club and getting one of those free shampoo bottles. They're tiny. A January 27th update to Star Wars Battlefront makes the Tatooine survival map compatible with such multiplayer modes as Blast, Drop Zone, and Droid Run. In addition, the Luke Skywalker and Han Solo Hoth outfits, which were previously only available to certain players, are now open to everyone. But just because everyone's in on it doesn't mean that everyone's going to agree that Han shot first. This content update also brings daily challenges, community events, and balance tweaks for weapons that were more overpowered than Meta Knight. Players now also have the ability to create private matches, so if you don't want the world to see you missing more shots than a stormtrooper, you don't have to worry about that anymore. In addition to this free content update, EA has also announced plans for several paid DLC drops later this year. The March update will allow you to play inside Jabba the Hutt's palace on Sullust. The summer DLC will let you play in the Cloud City of Bespin, and the fall DLC will allow you to play on the Death Star. Just make sure you don't, blow it up or anything. Like that would never happen. What do you get when you cross Charizard with John Cena? Like that was a legitimate question, I really don't know. Well, the upcoming Pokken Tournament is probably the closest you're ever going to get to finding the answer to that question. There are quite a few game modes to this game that pit two Pokemon against each other in a quest to smash each other in the face. No, not that kind of smash. Silly. First off, there's a single battle mode that has 3 different levels of difficulty if you're playing solo, which probably range from Magikarp to Dark Souls. We also have a local battle in which one player uses a gamepad and one player looks at the TV screen. Now bear in mind that this game mode runs at 30 frames per second instead of 60, probably because both players need their own perspective. And finally we have online mode, which is a multiplayer battle that can be played against either friends or complete strangers. Similar to Super Smash Bros. Online. Yes, that's the right kind of Smash, you got it. There are both friendly matches and ranked matches. And finally, 2 local Wii U's can be used in multiplayer to play against one another using a LAN adapter and an Ethernet cable. And how could we forget the fancy arcade controller that's going to be launching along with the game? Pokken Tournament releases March 18th for Wii U. E3 is coming up this June 14th through 16th, and apparently EA wants nothing to do with it. Okay, well that's not entirely true. EA will still have a small presence at E3 this year, but have established their own press conference called EA Play. This press conference will take place June 12th to 14th, which is just a couple of days before E3. Now you may be asking yourself, why is this important news? What does this have to do with anything? Well, I'm glad you asked, Self. I'm glad I asked myself? I don't know. EA, in case you're not familiar, is the maker of the Mass Effect, Battlefield, and Titanfall games. And according to EA's financial schedule for this year, all 3 series are due for new entries before the end of this fiscal year, which ends in March 2017. Which means that we will have a new Mass Effect, a new Battlefield, and new Titanfall all before March 31st, 2017. Now that is a good ways off and we don't have an exact release date yet, but aliens and robots and machines. Get excited! Now I may have joked about Pokken Tournament's difficulty, but come on. There's no way that even its highest difficulty could compare to Dark Souls 3. A game that started the long-standing tradition of chunking your controller at the wall in anger is up for pre-order right now. Unfortunately, PC doesn't have any pre-order bonuses available, but the PS4 and Xbox One both have a Standard and Collector's Edition pre-order up. The Standard Edition pre-order includes the game, soundtrack, limited edition cover art, and a starter guide. The Collector's Edition of the game includes the Collector's Box, starter guide, soundtrack, Red Knight statue, game map, art book, and metal case. Dark Souls 3 will be available for PC, PS4, and Xbox One March 24th in Japan and April 12th here in the States. Well, I'm guessing that after all that news, your jaw is on the floor and your wallet's probably crying, so I'll give you a break. For Geeks Under Grace, this is Evan, signing off.